Happy Friday 13th, everybody. I'm Logan, and this is Worley Reviews, the YouTube channel where I geek out and talk shit. And today I'm going to be ranking the whole Friday the 13th franchise in celebration of this glorious day. When I was putting these in order, I was really thinking about what were my favorite ones growing up, which ones stuck with me into my adult years, which ones do I like to rewatch on occasion. And looking at that list, some of y'all are definitely going to disagree with these choices. But let's start off with number 12. Jason Goes to Hell. This is usually the lowest one on any ranking list of this franchise. And the two biggest flaws it has against it is A, it's not Jason, and then they also changed the history of the franchise technically. But on the plus side, the tent scene, probably one of my favorite scenes in the franchise. You got nudity and an awesome kill with a lot of gore. That pretty much sums up why I gravitated towards the Friday the 13th franchise at such a young age. Boobs and blood. And at number 11, this one I'm going to get some hate for, Friday 13th Part 2. I enjoy the movie, but out of the whole franchise, I hardly ever rewatch this one. There's just something about Part 2 and 3, I always get the kills mixed up. And also, both movies, the endings do not add up. But I will say one of the plus sides of Part 2 is without a doubt the wheelchair and the staircase. So let's go ahead and move along to number 10, Friday 13th Part 3. Yeah, the kills definitely get murky in my memory between 2 and 3 for some reason. And then also the beginning of the movie kinda makes Part 2 not make sense. Because Part 3 starts off with Jason getting up off the floor in his little shack and then, going to start kill people again. But when you watch Part 2, he jumps through the window and grabs the final girl, and then they cut to her on a stretcher. So did that happen, or was that also a dream? But moving along, at number 9 is Part 8, Jason Takes Manhattan. I saw this at a young age on TV, middle of the day at my grandparents' house. I remember that. And it's an okay movie. The kills really aren't that great or memorable. And also, Jason Takes Manhattan is such a bullshit title for this movie because 80% of it takes place on a fucking boat. And then when he gets to Manhattan, it's actually Vancouver because that's where they filmed it, and the only thing from New York is the scene in Times Square. And next at number 8 is Part 7, The New Blood. This one's pretty cool. It's basically Carrie versus Jason. But I remember liking this one, and it definitely holds up. It is a great watch. There's some pretty decent kills in it. Oh yeah, not to mention, this is the first time Kane Hodder wore the hockey mask and played Jason. But the ending definitely sucked with the girl's dad coming out from the lake and pulling Jason down, But anyway, number 7 is Part 6, Jason Lives. I enjoy it, I like it, but it does kind of feel like a PG-13 Friday the 13th movie to me. You don't get much gore. The kills are pretty interesting. I don't know, it's a fun watch, but this was the one I would always rewatch if I knew my parents could walk into the room because I did not want them coming in on one of the sex scenes or something like that. Not a bad movie, but yeah, I like some of the others more. And at number 6, oh fuck, I'm gonna get some shit for this because this is usually everybody's favorite, Friday the 13th, The Final Chapter. How am I ranking this so low? I've said before, I go against the grain sometimes. I don't really have anything negative to say about this movie, which is weird because most of the other ones ahead of it I do have negative comments for, but it definitely has probably one of the best cast in any of the movies of the franchise. And let's not forget that Tom Savini came back to do the special effects, and holy shit does it show. And at number 5 I have Friday the 13th, the 2009 reboot. I wouldn't say this is the worst remake I've seen, but definitely not the best. But just the opening alone, the first 20 minutes being the opening scene technically, that's what makes me want to rewatch it. I like rewatching it just for the opening, and then after they introduce all the stupid fucking characters they have in this movie. So mediocre, and I wanna fucking like this movie, especially because I am a Supernatural fan, but the characters are so bad. The actors aren't bad. But I like the way that this movie went in a different direction, but kind of stayed true to the originals. It felt like the first 3 movies, the important parts from those were in this movie. And to me, it definitely works, but I definitely understand why it gets so much hate. And at number 4, I have Jason X. Really love this movie. This is one of those movies I saw when I was like in junior high. I remember I got my dad to take me to go see it in the theater. And it was just so cool going back to school and talking to other kids and friends that had seen it also. Because this was the first time my generation got something new from the Friday the 13th franchise. But up until then, all we had was the originals that came out when either we were babies or still fucking sperm. I still love rewatching it, although now the KM versus Jason fight is very cringeworthy to me for some reason. So yeah, I love Jason X. But next up is the one I am most likely gonna get the most amount of shit for. At number 3 is Part 5, A New Beginning. I know what you're saying, holy shit, why? Why is this in the top fucking 3? And I will tell you why. Because it is an amazing slasher movie. This is one that I saw very early on, and this is what got me hooked on the slasher genre. Pretty sure it has the most amount of kills in the whole franchise. All of them are different and kind of inventive. It definitely has the most nudity in the whole franchise. Boobs and blood. And yeah, it's not Jason doing the killing, but I don't care. Because most of the time you're seeing the kills from the killer's point of view. If you like slasher movies, just fucking give it another chance. You might enjoy the shit out of it like I do. And at number 2 is one of the essentials from my high school years, Freddy vs. Jason. Okay, yes, it has bad acting, it has bad CGI, but that's what the 2000s was when it came to horror movies. Best part of the movie is, of course, whenever Freddy and Jason actually fight. All the other shit is just kind of meh. It sucks because I've seen these actors and actresses in other work. So what the fuck happened with this one? But still, it's an essential from high school. I love rewatching it. It's just a fun movie. And at number 1, of course, it's the original Friday the 13th. Honestly, with my choices, I didn't expect the original to be number 1. But when I was rewatching it this past week, I am saying the dialogue with the characters. And I have such a history with this movie. Seeing that ending for the first time when I was a kid at my grandparents' house was very memorable. I also remember my grandmother screaming whenever Jason pops up out of the water at the end. So this movie gives me a connection with family members. So yeah, I'm definitely gonna put it at number 1. And of course, you don't fuck with the original anyway. But that's it. That is how I've ranked the whole franchise of Friday the 13th. And if you would, hit that like button, drop a comment down in the comment section, share on social media, and subscribe to stay up to date with all the videos I got coming. Thank you all for watching, and I'll see you all next time.